Welcome to Better Life, Better Business, your go-to podcast for how you can grow your business, double your productivity and time off, work smarter and not harder. Brought to you by local business coaching expert Christoph Nauer, CEO of Balance 6 in Walnut Creek, California.
Welcome back to Better Life, Better Business with local business coach and time management expert Christoph Nauer of Balance 6. I'm your host, Rebecca Troxel, founder and CEO of Rebecca's Vault. Today, we're going to continue our series of interviewing business owners about not only what they do to help you with time, but how they navigate the world of being an entrepreneur.
Thank you, Rebecca. And hello, everybody. I'm Christoph Nauer, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. I'd like to interview our very special guest, Charliette Cummings, today. Hello, Charliette.
Hello.
Charliette, you may know by now that the purpose of my podcast is to provide excellent resources, helpful tools, and tips to business owners. And that's exactly why I asked you to be a guest. Can you please describe the value that you bring to business owners and entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. My name is Charliette Cummings. I am from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I help entrepreneurs with marketing strategies. So basically what that is we specialize in working with entrepreneurs with Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, as well as email marketing, sales funnels, you name it. Anything that can help entrepreneurs save time and automate their business, that's what we strive for.
Nice.
Wonderful. All right, so what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your business?
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Good question. Understanding the need for a mentor. Importantly that you have to have a mentor, that not just any mentor, but a mentor that has been where you're trying to go. Understanding the importance of that. I would say that much. I mean, I actually came from a corporate America background. So business is just not my area of expertise, and it was so far out of my realm. So when I had got started with one of the other businesses that I started thinking, I'm like, hey, I have no idea how to market. So it wasn't in my background. It just wasn't in my DNA. So I was like, I got to get a mentor. But luckily, with the Rise of 1%, I actually found mentors that can coach me and teach me the social media strategies that I can understand, marketing a product as a whole. So.
Wonderful. I like that because obviously that's one of the roles I play is a mentor and a coach, So
yeah,
I
absolutely.
like to hear that from, it affirms me. So it makes me feel good.
Yes.
I know this answer you came up with that answer on your own. It was not in the script.
No, it was not. I'm telling you, it was not. I just, no, it's important. It's important to have that guide. It's literally like walking in the dark. You don't walk in the dark. I mean, now if somebody was actually holding your hand, and let's say if the person, was holding your hand, you can have a guide, but walking around in the dark, you're just lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yep, absolutely. Charlotte, what do you think is your biggest challenge right now?
From a marketing perspective, and I know that my digital marketing partners and we had a discussion in regards to this as well, with entrepreneurs, especially in today's time with all the stuff that's going on, entrepreneurs not really having the capital to do the projects and the marketing projects that they want to do, which is super, super important. I know that things happen and stuff like that, but however, we actually came up with a solution with that as well to actually have entrepreneurs the option to have funding for their projects. So we found that is probably one of the biggest issues right now, especially with all the things that's going on. Entrepreneurs, they have to pour their money in other areas. So just trying to keep the business afloat, but they don't think about the marketing. I'm like, well, we came up with the concept to offer funding for entrepreneurs to do marketing, to help them get more customers and clients and stuff like that. So.
Wow, I think we could do probably a whole podcast right on that.
Right. I know, right? Yes. So we're starting a new division. Yes, absolutely.
You got quite a resource there, Charliette.
I know. I got to do it. I got to do it.
Well, that kind of leads me to the next question. What are some of the best resources that have helped you along the way?
For me, understanding, trying to learn more and more and more about marketing. I mean, doing research on marketing strategies, understanding the tools that are used in marketing as well. That's huge. Being able to actually implement those tools myself so I can understand them better. Um, Being on social media more than I've ever been in my lifetime. It's just those type of things are all so important. And then again too, books and stuff like that. And I also watch a lot of demo videos, a lot of, some of the big marketers and stuff in the space. I use that as well. And then also working hand in hand with Gerald Bass and Antonio Millhouse. They have been phenomenal mentors. Helping me to understand. We have Antonio's Instagram, helping me to understand Instagram, and Gerald is more Facebook, helping me to understand Facebook. They've even encouraged me to become a specialist in LinkedIn. So just understanding all the different platforms, what they're used for, who's out there, how to do research on it. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Wow, it sounds like you're playing a lot of roles and have a lot of stuff going on in your business, juggling a lot of things from what you just shared with us. So what role does delegating play in your business?
Delegating actually plays a lot in our business. Then again, like I mentioned, we actually have our own roles. We do like certain things. So I'm more of a specialist now with LinkedIn. We have Fanta as well that helps out with client acquisition. And Antonio, he's actually Instagram. And Gerald is Facebook. So we have like different tasks that we delegate to each other that are, that are stronger in Facebook, or if you're stronger in Instagram, or a question about clients acquisition, you go to Fanta. So pretty much becoming an expert within the niche, a niche down within your niche. Because it's all marketing. It's all marketing overall, but you're still niching down within your niche. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, to everyone watching our vodcast, if you haven't heard the ones previously on prioritizing, I highly recommend you do that. Christoph and I discussed the 80-20 rule, the ABCDE method, proactive procrastination. It goes on and on and on. But Charliette, tell us, how do you prioritize?
Now this might be old school, and please do not laugh. I still use my calendar to prioritize, and with color blocks. So what that means is that it's certain tasks are in certain colors. If you're talking, like, you have to talk to specific customers on specific days, networking events, and all of that stuff is in my calendar. Most of the time, you're not gonna distract me or nothing without it being on my calendar. And I have times where I'm actually blocked off for social media as well, because that's what a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand. You still have to be active. You still have to show up. Like, I have a block for myself to give tips about credit on Wednesdays. That's on my calendar. So, and then it's in colors. So I know exactly what I need to do, and I don't too much deviate between those unless something drastic happens. But if it does, I still have to shift those tasks around in my calendar to be able to put somebody in that slot if it's like an emergency or what have you. So I don't know, it's old school, but
I think you're in good company. You're all right.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I think that's fantastic. It actually, again, affirms you already doing so much of the work that I do with my clients. I mean, you talked about having everything on your schedule, having everything blocked, time for this and block time for that. And
Right.
if an emergency comes up, you shift it around. I mean,
Shift.
this is stuff that I talk to my clients all the time, and just listening to you, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Charlotte is actually doing all the stuff that, I'm talking to my clients about. Because I was just going to ask you, how do you make sure that everything gets done? But you already explained it. You already talked about it.
It's in a block. It's in a block. And also, entrepreneurs that are watching this, here's a real good tip. It's a tool called OneNote that is a Microsoft tool. It's like nothing but a virtual binder. If you have like projects and stuff you're working on and you want to document, like take some notes, and you're talking to people, you're networking, you're doing this, use it, because it automatically saves. So if your computer like shuts down, it'll automatically be saved. It's like a big digital binder. I use it for everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. again, I'm so glad you're here,
Go.
in so many different ways. Now, I would imagine you probably belong to the 3% of people who have written goals. So tell me a little bit about what goal setting plays in your life, in your business. How do you handle that?
Well, I know from a business perspective, the Rise of 1%, of course, they have their own goals for, clients and different things and client reviews and all those different things. But it's important to also have your own goals as well. I use OneNote for goals because you can put all of that stuff in there and you can hold yourself accountable as well by putting dates on there. Be specific on the goals, on what dates you want to accomplish the goals. That's what I was doing wrong in the beginning. I was not being specific and I was just putting stuff down and I wasn't holding myself accountable. So now I make sure that I put the dates on there and be like, oh, this date is coming up. I have it, in my sheet. I know the dates that I want to achieve the goal, like, oh, it's coming up. So it kind of it holds me accountable of what I need to do as well. And plus, with the Rise of 1%, we also have a group of other entrepreneurs as well. We hold each other accountable for certain things we should be accomplishing as well. So that helps too, also to be in a community of people to help hold you accountable.
Absolutely, yes. And I think I really like the fact that you touched on the time limit attached to the goal. In a previous podcast, we did talk about the idea of goal setting, and we talked about the importance of them goals to be SMART goals. There's different explanations of what that means, different definitions, but it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing, which is, just wonderful to hear. So one of the 6 in my business name, Balance 6, is money. Do you have any tips or tricks for business owners in that regard, Charliette?
Oh my gosh. Understanding it. Understanding the basics, like especially when it comes to like credit, understanding that you can literally have enough credit to fund a whole entire business if you treat it right. If you treat it right, you respect it, you understand the rules of the game, because it's nothing but a game. I know that from experience, it's a game. You have to understand it to be able to master it. And once you master it, it's not your enemy anymore. It's actually your best friend, because you'll be able to do and purchase whatever you need to purchase for your business, whatever type of business you have. It doesn't even matter. To get the funding that you need. Most people do not just say, you know what, I got $1 million to start this business. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a shot. Most people they don't have that type of money just laying around. Like, let me write a check for 1.5 for you. The people don't have that type of money. But believe it or not, if your credit is good enough, you might be able to qualify for something like that, for a startup or for a business or something like that. So hey, understanding credit all the way. Money is not an enemy. It can be your best friend if you know how to treat it. So
yeah,
I like how you say that. If you don't treat it, it's kind of like being in a relationship. If you are in a good relationship with money, you might actually like it instead of hating it.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Well, exactly. Charliette, let me ask you, who are some of the people who have been the most influential to you?
Well, for me, seriously, again, I will have to give it to Gerald Bass and Antonio Millhouse. I mean, these guys literally were complete strangers. I literally met on Facebook, but they taught me all this stuff. And not only that, they helped, not just me, but everybody, that partner with them with mindset, which is key to everything. I just didn't, when I first started my other business, my mindset just was not there. Because it just wasn't, I just didn't have the right mindset. Because you're like, why is this not moving? Because my mind was not moving. I was not ready to open my mind in the beginning. And they started to share with me some of the things that they were doing and some of the books and stuff that they were reading that helped. And it helped like tremendously to understand like, okay, you have to think differently. You're not an employee, or if you are an employee and you're looking to transition to be a business owner, that's a completely different mindset. It's a completely different mindset. And that's what a lot of other entrepreneurs as well, and which I'm an educator with the Rise of 1% as well. That's what I teach them too. I'm like, y'all, don't be, embarrassed of where you are right now. Just focus on what you're trying to do in the future, and then map out a path on how you're going to get there. So I would definitely have to give it to, I have to give it to them, because if I never would have met them, I don't know where I would be, because they have encouraged me so much to do this. And I wouldn't even think I would be like talking to you guys. I wouldn't even think I would be here, but yeah, I would definitely have to give it to them. They helped me out tremendously. So
that's wonderful. I mean, it proves again what you said earlier about the importance of mentors, and
right.
You found a couple of really fantastic ones. Charliette, before I ask you how our audience can find you, I wanted to piggyback a little bit more about what you said about the credit, because you have one more thing that you do for business owners, and that could actually be a huge help, because I think you kind of fix credits or something like that.
I do. I assist with personal credit as well. I have a horror story for credit. I could talk on it about all night. My husband and I got into some trouble. We did a debt settlement. It was terrible. I tell people never to do a debt settlement, because it's a waste of money and it's a waste of time. It destroyed our credit. So what happened was, with the first business that I started, I was like, I got to do something. This is horrible. If I can get something that helps me fix this, I will be okay. Well, I did find something that fixed it. I found a system that helped you fix credit, but not only fix credit, maintain it. Thus far, we've had 350 points back on our credit report in 2 years. And we've had 52 negative items removed. So yeah, the system works. So that's what I do as well, just sharing that information and that teaching, and a lot of what other strategies that people don't teach in regards to credit to maintain it. Nobody's talking about how to maintain it. Everybody's saying, oh, you can repair your credit, you can do this, you can do that. Nobody's talking about maintaining it. So that's what I teach as well, maintaining and building. Maintaining and build, where you continuously build and hardly ever drop. So that's what I teach as well, which actually piggies back on entrepreneurs as well. Like, hey, if your credit's good enough, you probably be able to qualify for $50,000 in funding. You know that, right? They're like, what?
No, and that's why I thought I really wanted you to mention that a little bit before we end our podcast, because again, it's such a fantastic resource that people don't know about. And I know I've talked to you about that, and you said, you gave me some advice on, okay, this is what you want to do and this is what you don't want to do. And I'm like, wow, I never heard that before.
Exactly.
So, it's fantastic. And so again, I think you are such an incredible resource, and I'm very happy that you came on this podcast with us today. Could you please let our audience know how they can find you online?
Absolutely. We have 2 pages. We have a LinkedIn page. The Rise of the 1% LinkedIn page is actually a business page for LinkedIn, and it has all our contents out there. All of the different things that you can learn about marketing is out there. And we also have a Facebook group as well. It's called the 1% Digital Marketing Facebook group. It is a free Facebook group for business owners that want to join to learn marketing, which is the same that's on LinkedIn. It's a little bit different on Facebook. Sometimes we post a little bit more on Facebook as well. But yeah, that's how you find us. And we are on YouTube as well, under Gerald Bass for YouTube, and Instagram. Everywhere. Rise of the 1% on Instagram. Yeah, we're out there. So we heavy social media. We're just not talking. We actually really are on social media stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Charliette, for joining us today and sharing your insight with us.
Sure.
And thank you to our viewers for joining in on this conversation. If you or someone you know would like some guidance on finding balance, like Charliette has, make sure you take advantage of the offer Christophe provides his audience, a complimentary business breakthrough session. And during this session, you'll learn how he can help you double your productivity, profits, and time off. All you have to do is go to balance6.biz to sign up for a time that works for you. Until next time, make sure you focus on your long-term aspirations and having a better life and better business.
This week's episode of Better Life, Better Business is brought to you by CA&C Video Productions. Since 1985, CA&C Video has been providing live streaming, event production, and analog to digital transfer services. They captured those life-changing moments preserving your history for current and future generations. Because your history matters. Visit their website at cacvideo.com. Thank you so much for your sponsorship.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to another episode of Better Life, Better Business with business and time management coach Christoph Nauer with Balance 6, the leading business and time management company in Northern California. Visit them at balance6.biz.